and welcome to today's coaching clinic. Today we are exploring living in love, which is just becoming more of an urgent, important direction for everybody, whether or not we're consciously aware of it. So I'm going to share some insights about living in love with yourself, in love with the people around you, how to experience that on a deeper level, but also in an easier way. I think that every time we explore the conversation around relationships, we as a group of women and men tend to have a breakthrough in the week that follows with someone in our life. And I certainly, as you can imagine, have a lot of wisdom to share after making loads of mistakes in my own relationship, but equally now in hindsight, with my fiance being almost 1 year dead, seeing the beauty of what was available to us when we lived in love towards ourselves and towards one another as a couple. Now, you don't have to be in a couple to experience that. The first place you want to start with living in love is with yourself. And that's what I want to kick off with today. So in order to do that, let's just go into our visualization, our meditation in a relaxed way, and just close your eyes and join with me now. Just feet on the floor, and just set your intention. Intention is such a powerful thing. What do you want to get from this clinic, from this day, from this visualization? Take a moment to think about that now. And now just let yourself take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. In through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. In through the nose and out. Feel yourself sinking into the chair, the bed, wherever you are. Let's do that again. In through the nose. Notice your tummy rising up. And out through the nose of the mouth. Notice your tummy falling, sink into the space you're in. In through the nose. And out. In through the nose. And out. Now see roots coming from your feet, down through the ground, down into the underground, right down to a rock at the bottom of the earth, and wrap those roots around that rock. This is the rock of your true nature. This is where we have beautiful golden energy available to us to heal to emanate, to come forth. Wrap those roots around that rock and just see the golden energy emanating from that rock up through the underground, the ground, the floorboards, in through your feet. Let that energy move up now through your entire body. Push the golden light up, 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 until it covers your entire being. If there's anywhere in your body that's particularly sore or you've been experiencing tension, just send the golden light to that space now. I see in front of you, in your mind's eye, a beautiful star. It can be any color and any shape, but as close to a star shape as you can. And I want you to intend to place this star a couple of inches above your head. And see again a beautiful star. Another one. And place this star a couple of inches below your feet. So we have above and below with this beautiful star energy. And from the star above to the star below, I want you to see a very gentle silver cord running from the star above your head down into the head, down past the third eye chakra, which is between the eyebrows, down through the face to the throat chakra. This cord continues to run down into the heart chakra between the chest. Down into the solar plexus. Down into the sacral chakra, a couple of inches below the belly button. And down into the root chakra, a couple of inches above the pubic bone. And then see this golden cord just continuing to run from the root chakra down to that star a couple of inches below your feet. So you have this beautiful silver thread just running through the chakras. Breathe in through the nose. And out. You're completely stabilized by this cord and these stars. And in front of you now, I want you to imagine anything that really looks to you like it stops you loving yourself, stops you living in love. Something that you continue to beat yourself up about. Just see it in front of you now. Could be your diet, could be your bank account, could be how you treat your dog, could be your weight, could be your messy car, your messy house, could be something you did in the past. Doesn't matter, just whatever comes to mind. Just see in front of you anything that just looks to you like that's the reason I can't be gentle on myself. That's the reason I can't go easy on myself. That's the reason I can't love myself. And I want you to blast that scenario with golden light. Send love towards it, golden light towards it. Use the power of the star energy you're currently vibrating in to just send complete light. It could be an illness that you have. Doesn't matter what it is, just blast it now with golden light. If more things come up, keep blasting those things too. Send love ahead of you. Into the situation, the scenario. And I want you to visualize now that that scenario and situation turns into a love heart, literally. So if it's a plate of food you're looking at, just see it turning into a heart. If it's X number of pounds on the scale, see the pounds turning to hearts. If it's malignant cells in your body, see the cells turning to hearts. If it's a relationship with someone in the past, see the person, the situation turn to a heart. Just let yourself live in love. Now, from your own heart chakra, which is usually a green color, I want you to imagine anyone that you're having difficulty loving right now, and it could be yourself. But see this person, this mirror image in front of you. And as difficult as it might feel, I want you to send green light from your heart chakra to their heart chakra. It could be a colleague at work that you're having to address or have conversations with. It could be a partner that you're maybe in and out of relationship with. It could be a family member. It could be an animal. It could be a past boss, coach, friend, and send green, healing, loving energy from your heart chakra to theirs. It doesn't mean that you are okay with what they do or did or say or how they behave. It means that you're choosing to live in love, which will include a very firm, clear communication with them. But in order to get to that communication point, we want to have an energy that is already filled with love. It's hard to get defensive when you're speaking from love. It's hard for other people to not hear you when you're speaking firmly but from love. So just bathe in this energy for a couple of minutes. Take your time, breathing in and out. Look at yourself now. Star above the head, star below the feet. Beautiful silver cord running through all the chakras, keeping everything aligned. And let's at this moment go in and ask your higher self any question you've been wanting to have clarity on. Trust the answer, the feeling, the image that comes. Now come back to this moment. And just gently lift the star from the top of the head and set it down on into an imaginary box. And take the star from the bottom of the feet, under the feet, and lift it gently and set it into another imaginary box. And see in your mind's eye the silver cord between all the chakras running down through the body, just gently dissipating into nothingness. Knowing that these elements have served you in clearing up and cleaning out and connecting, so you can move forward living in love. See roots coming from your feet, down through the ground, the underground, right down to a rock at the bottom of the earth. And wrap those roots around that rock. Feel yourself firmly planted, breathing in through the nose and out. And I really want you to take your time coming back to the room. Write down anything that you want to write down or make a note of, but even if you don't, please know the work is done on a spiritual and energetic level. You don't have to remember everything. And just gently come back. You're welcome to type in the chat box your experience of that. One word usually is enough. And what I want you to know is that each time I do a visualization, I am just being guided by what the group needs. I'm just being guided there and then as to what needs to take place. Thank you, Lou, saying an opening. Yeah. Energized, Audra, thank you. Peaceful. Yeah, thanks, Sue. Sometimes our mind is so full that it can look like love is gone. And we end up in a lot of habitual judgment, criticism, worry. Thanks, Giovanna. Situation dissolving. And so this is the key piece I want you to know, is that it's not that we are not living in love, that love somehow goes missing, or that love is somehow only available if another person behaves well, or if we weigh a certain amount, or we make a certain amount of money. It's that the feeling of love dissipates because we innocently keep orientating to habits of thought that don't include love. Thoughts of judgment, thoughts of worry, thoughts of stress, thoughts of tension, thoughts of criticism, thoughts of judgment. The reason it's so beautiful when we fall in love with someone or a place or a thing or an animal or a dress or a meal or a restaurant is because we fall out of our habitual thoughts and we fall right into the stuff we're made of, which is love. We fall right into the present moment, and what we find there is a feeling of love, and you can replace that word if you want with joy or enjoyment or fulfillment or peace. But that you want to get familiar with the flavor of love, the feeling of love. Because as you get more familiar with the flavor of that love, everything else looks like insanity. You start to think or feel off. Hang on a sec. This doesn't feel right. Well, it doesn't feel right because it's not right. It's feelings of judgment and anger and criticism and stress and worry and fear. It's meant to feel off because it's not the stuff you're made of, called love. Now, when Francesco died almost a year ago coming up, I was incredibly surprised that I fell into feelings of love for weeks after his death. From the moment I saw him lying there dead, I was overcome with this incredible spiritual protection called love. And because I had that experience, I'm now terribly suspicious of anything else that doesn't feel like that. And I'm also incredibly hopeful that that these feelings of love don't fall away just because you lose the love of your life or your life falls apart. I've been joking lately that I used to live in a 5-bedroom villa with a pool and 2 dogs and a partner. Now I live in about 50 square meters with 1 dog. And I can laugh about that. A lot of people would freak out about that. I can laugh about that. I can feel love about that. I have love carrying me and within me, but that's not unique to me. I really want you to hear that. It is our true nature. When we're not getting, when we're getting less interested in flavors of worry and anxiety and judgment and criticism. Now, if I want to, I can bring my mind to all the things I did wrong in my relationship and all the reasons I've messed up. And yet, when I do that, the flavor in me gets really low and sad and stressed and pitiful. And I have learned that the only thing I have control over is to orientate my mind away from that. Because if I want to, I can go over there and I can suffer if I really want to. And it's the same for all of us. We can't control the thinking that comes in, but we do have free will for how long we pay attention to it. And if it's not a feeling of love, I'd encourage you not to pay too much attention. Living in love is less about perfect health, perfect circumstances, perfect relationships, perfect homes, perfect bodies. And it's more about, are you getting sensitive, even intolerant to feelings that aren't love? Let me give you an example. So I was getting really upset with someone the other day in my world. And what I was making up in my head was, well, I'm just not going to reach out, and I'm done trying, and it's always me, and blah de blah, and why don't they? And the feeling was horrible. The feeling was anxiousness and a bit of stress and tension. But more than anything, it was what I call brain noise. It was like, why is this person taking up so much noise in my head? Forgetting in that moment that they weren't taking up any space. I was orientated to thinking and criticizing them. And then it was as simple as a friend of mine who was here visiting saying to me, well, why don't you just say what you really, really feel about this situation? And I said, well, that's a good idea. But I said it from the feeling of love I fell into. I didn't say it from the critical, judgmental, bitchy place I was in. And it was such a wonderful healing experience because it created harmony between us and it quietened down my mind. See, when you're living in love, it's not that you don't have lots of thoughts. It's just that it's not brain noise. And so as a result of that conversation, which was just really nice, it put the momentum, it got some momentum back in our connection. I'd love to check in here with you. Is there a question you want to type in the box? Do you want to come on and ask? Do you want to share your situation that might look like the exception to living in love? Do you want me to keep talking? Let me know where you're at with this. Okay. Giovanna's written, I'd like to hear more about sending someone love and the golden light. Okay. I think Robin's typing, so I'm just going to give a moment. Okay, thank you, Robin. So you may have heard this example before, but one of the most profound healing experiences for me was the week before Francesco died. I was not living in love. My mind was busy and fast and wired up and impatient. And the feeling of impatience and urgency, the feeling of not enough time, should have been enough of an indicator that I was way off track with living in love and way too much up here. But, I'm on my journey too, like you are, and I don't always catch it until I catch it. And so we had this argument where he was, it looked to me like he was complaining and doing nothing about his situation. And I got really irritable and I said something like, oh, stop moaning and just do something about it. And he went off in a pity party and I went on to a call with a client. And I fell into a beautiful, loving feeling as I was talking to my client. And as I was talking to her, it popped into my head, Francesco's suffering. And I was overcome with a feeling of compassion, not guilt and regret for what I just said, a feeling of compassion I was overcome with. So when I got off the call, I went to him and I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I've just realized you're suffering and I'm judging you as not doing anything about your situation, but complaining. Please forgive me, honey, that this, I've just obviously been not seeing the situation clearly. And he was so pleased that I had acknowledged my mistake, and B, he was off the hook really, because he hated to be on the hook with me. Now, that brought a lot of healing, because we then lived in love for the next week, not realizing time was running out. And at one point during that week, he sort of said to me, I need you to be on my case sometimes, because it means you actually care. And that was a real wake up for me. Oh, right. Okay. He wasn't living in a pity party about himself. He was actually encouraging some level of being pulled up on his situation. But the difference was that there's a way to help people change their experience without criticizing and judging their experience. And as we live fast-paced, as we live fast-paced, it can get a bit difficult to do that, because we speed up and we hear the judgment and we hear the criticism. So I just need to pause you for a minute, because it looks like my computer's a bit low on battery. So I'm going to do that for a sec. But I want to leave you with this thought before I plug in and come back. Is that living in love was just a natural expression in our relationship as I or he got present. And that's available to everybody. That's not unique to us. There were lots of not living in love that went on. And then we'd come back into it. And then we'd go out and then we'd come back. That's the human experience. Just give me a moment, friends. Here we go. Thanks, Lillian. So the real reason I share that particular example with you is that the crux of the teaching is this. You start to get familiar, even intolerant to horrible feelings. And you want to get suspicious of that. Like if something feels off, tense, stressed, anxious-ridden, critical, judgmental, it's not love, and it's not coming from love, and it's not your true experience. It's what we're habitually making up in the moment. And you want to be gentle with yourself about that, and you want to be gentle with others. I did have a question come in, just want to check it. Oh, I think I lost the questions. There was something from Lou, I think, about a cycle of love or being in a relationship where you're going in and out of love, where it feels volatile. Volatility is there letting us know that it's time to get present to the person and share our truth from a feeling of love with the person. See, it doesn't mean you continue the relationship or you stay in volatility. But see, the volatility, the up and down, the swings, the pendulums, the in and out, the all around is all indicative of a mind that's all over the place. Like Sydney Banks called us all schizophrenic, and I love that. She's got a particular talk where he talks about us all being in an experience of schizophrenia on different levels, because we just, 1 minute we're totally in love with somebody, then we're not. 1 minute we think everything's great, then we don't. 1 minute we like ourselves, then we hate ourselves. And this is schizophrenia. It's like volatility, it's up and down. It's not to be trusted. It's the ever swinging illusion of thought. So living in love is an acquired taste. And part of my job with you all on our journey together is to help you enjoy that flavor, get familiar with that flavor, live in that feeling more and more. Because as you do, your life gets cleaned up. Your relationships become harmonious and enjoyable. Your experience of yourself is way gentler. And your love of life increases. Living in love is the default setting. Everything else is the illusion. Couple of minutes for questions, comments, anything further that you want to hear. Couple of minutes if you'd like to come on or type. And you would just unmute your line. So the simplest way to get beyond the noise and back into the feeling of love, even if you haven't lived there for 50 years, and I can tell you throughout those 50 years, there were moments of you living in love and you just didn't know it. Maybe it felt like a butterfly in your hand and it kind of just, it was there for a second, then it was gone. Okay. The simple way to live there more of the time is to know when you're not there. And we always know when we're not there by how we feel. Feelings of stress, tension, anxiety, worry, upset, taking things personally, obsessing, annoyance are all our friends letting us know we've moved away from the default setting of love and well-being. How incredible is the system designed? Like, it is built into the system to let us know when we're not living in love. When we're living in love, you'll notice there's a flow to life. you'll notice that it's not just you that's in a good love feeling, but that you bring that feeling to everyone in your company. Most of my clients, I still say to them, do you know what I do? Because I still don't quite know what I do. And they'll say to me, oh, Grace, I just feel much better after I've been on the phone with you, and I go out and my life's different, and I do things as a result of that. Because as you're living there, you're bringing that to your clients, you're bringing that to your friends, you're bringing that to your animals, you're bringing that to your family. And because we're all designed to live from love and well-being, we all recognize it in the person that's living there. The person who rules the game isn't the person who speaks the loudest, the person who speaks the most at the table, isn't the person who's wearing the designer suit, is not the person who has the most money in the bank account, is not the size 0 girl with the best fashion. The person who rules the game is the person who's living in a level of well-being and love that the world can't help but recognize and want more of. This game of life can't be taken too seriously. That's another symptom helping you know when you're not in love, taking things too seriously. This game of life that we're here to play can be played in a light-hearted, loving, easy, graceful, joyful way. And can allow you to feel good every day. Even if somebody has died, even if you don't have the entire business that you want yet, even if you don't feel you look the right way. Living in love, feelings of good, feelings of well-being, feelings of joy are not dependent on any of those things. It's just dependent on you noticing when you're not there. Because as you notice that you're not there, you get suspicious of what's going on in your head. You stop making silly decisions. You don't act so quickly to deal with something. You come back to the present. The body has an incredibly powerful ability to heal as a result of that. You come back to the present, you experience healing, you experience well-being, you feel love. And if there's something to be said, you say it from there. If there's a decision to be made, you decide from there. If there's a change to be had, you change from there. And then you will say, wow, life's just so much easier today. And others will say, wow, your life looks just, I don't know, like you just in flow all the time. This isn't magic. This is who you are. So to finish today, I want to let you know that with Black Friday coming up this Friday, if you would like to spend an hour with me, you're welcome to book a session to go deep on anything you've heard from me in the last number of weeks or months, or from today's session, or anything you want help with, bringing love towards, whether it's yourself, your business, your relationship, your body, your image, your style, your life in general, whatever, doesn't matter. You choose what you want to focus on. But what I can say is that if you're booking between now and Friday, because Friday is Black Friday, now and Friday at midnight, just private message me. You can get a whole hour with me, for a mere £99. Okay, you can book a few of those if you like. If you're already working with me and you want to add an hour to our work already, go ahead and add it. If you know someone who you think would benefit from it and you want to gift it to them as a Christmas present, go ahead. But you can get that time with me for £99 until Friday. Okay, Friday at midnight. And then we'll schedule whenever you want after that. My regular coaching price is $300 per hour. Okay, sometimes I will have a special on for a different price. Today, for those of you in the coaching clinic, for those of you moving forward, if you'd like to do it for £99, I am available to have space with you to do that if you're booking by Friday. Okay, and I should say I only have 8 spaces for that. I can't like have 100 people in. So the first 8 of you that are doing that is the way to go. And in other news, there will be a coaching clinic next week. There won't be coaching clinics into December because I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go take a break. I'm going to go home, all being well, and I'm going to take a break. And then when we come back in January, we'll obviously be back into our routine. I hope this session has been helpful. I can see some lovely comments coming in. It's always good to get your feedback. Patricia, Grace, I asked in an email about a free webinar and you've brought it today. Oh, there you go. There you go. We're in alignment, Pat. Karina, lovely session. Thanks, Karina. This call was beautiful. Oh, I'm so pleased that this was helpful. So pleased. I look forward to supporting you more deeply, those of you that are interested. And in the meantime, have a great week. Live in love and just know when you're not there. Ciao, everybody. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.